Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on lab. In our lab today, we will learn how to create, configure, deploy, and invoke a simple agent using Amazon Bedrock's AgentCore Starter Toolkit. This is the part 3 of the series and one of the first hands-on lab that I have created on this particular topic. So let's get started. These are some reference URLs that I've mentioned right here. I would certainly recommend that you visit these URLs as they have additional information on this particular topic. I have created a playlist for Bedrock as well as AgentCore on my channel. So these are two separate playlists as you can see over here. And as I create additional tutorials and labs, I will have them added to these playlists. All of these URLs will be mentioned in the description of this video. Scenario for our lab today. As I said earlier, this is one of the first labs, and we are going to keep it very simple. So we will basically create, configure, deploy, and invoke an agent using Amazon Bedrock AgentCore Runtime on an EC2 instance. Now, since AgentCore is in preview and it has gone through a lot of changes, it can actually even go through additional changes in the future. What I have done is I have actually created a GitHub repo named Amazon Bedrock AgentCore on my GitHub account. This is a public repo, and I have added all the source code, the policy details, the commands, and everything to this particular repo. So please go ahead and fork this repo. That will allow you basically to execute this lab seamlessly. In fact, I have it right here. So this is my GitHub account. This is that particular repo, Amazon Bedrock AgentCore. And as you can see, this is the part 3, deploy a simple agent with starter toolkit. I have all the AWS policies, agent code, and basically the commands. And you will see that I will be basically leveraging all of this information while we execute this lab. I will also have this GitHub URL mentioned in the description of this video. If not, just freeze the video for a couple of seconds, go to my GitHub account and fork the repo. Step 1. So I'm going to use US East 1 to do this lab. You are more than welcome to use some other region wherever AgentCore is supported and available, but I'm going to use US East 1. I typically like to provision an EC2 instance whenever I am executing labs. And basically for this lab, I'm going to provision a T3 medium with Amazon Linux 2023 and 60 gigabytes of disk space. Now you are more than welcome to do this on your laptop or your desktop as well. But my recommendation would be that you provision an EC2 instance so that you can basically just get rid of the environment and your laptop is not, or your desktop is not compromised. After we provision the instance, we are basically going to SSH into this instance using PuTTY. So what I have done is I have actually gone ahead and provisioned this instance. And now let us try and connect to it. So this is PuTTY right here. Let me get the IP address of this particular instance. So this is my instance. Now I'm going to showcase all these steps to you for the first time because this is one of our first labs on this particular topic. Going forward, I will not be showcasing all of these steps. I thought I should show this to you because it's the first time. And then basically go to auth credentials and select your private key. Open. And basically you should log in over here as EC2 user. So if you ever, feel that, okay, what username should I use? Always go back Look at the SSH command and it will actually tell you what the username is. So copy this from here and now log in and there it is. Clear the screen and we are good to go. So we have completed these 3 steps. Now we will perform certain system updates. So these are the different steps that I've shown over here on the screen. And plus, if you now, we don't need this particular tab, so I'm going to close this tab, go to my GitHub. If you go to allcommands.txt, you will have all of these steps written over here. So what I'm going to do is just copy these from here and start executing them. Now execute them in the same manner like I'm executing right now in this lab. Do not go haywire or miss a step or anything, because otherwise it will make the environment unstable. And eventually, at the end, somewhere, your agent will start throwing some weird errors and you can spend hours basically debugging it and possibly not fixing it. Okay, so simply just follow all these steps. You will see that these steps work. I've executed them personally myself a couple of times already before I'm recording this lab. So hopefully it's a seamless experience and we are able to basically go ahead and create our agent successfully. So let's hit enter. Okay. I think we hit enter. It takes a while. Okay, nothing to do. Perfect. The next thing that we are going to do, that was a simple update. Now we are going to install Python. So let's do that. And it should be Python 3.12 or Python 3.10 or higher. I'm using Python 3.12. This version works really very well. So hit enter. So this executed beautifully. Now, so if you execute Python version first, let me execute that and show this to you. If I execute, so let me clear the screen. If I execute this, it will tell you 3.9. That is the default version on Amazon Linux. But you will say, hey, we just installed 3.12. For that, you will need to execute this particular command. So let us copy that command, execute it really very well. And now execute the version command and you will see that the current version is 3.12. So if you do not execute that command, it will pick 3.9 and 3.9 is not compatible or does not work well with AgentCore. At least I have faced a lot of issues. You have to go with 3.10 or above. So follow these steps, use 3.12 and you will be good to go. So let's say if anybody's working with this and if you're facing issues, go back and check your Python version. If it's not the version that is expected by AgentCore, that it will not work. So we have completed system updates. We have also deployed Python. Now let us set up our Python virtual environment. So this is our virtual environment's name. And so we'll create it and then activate it. And after that, we will install some Python packages like Boto3 and Boto Core and basically check its version. So let me go back now and set up Python virtual environment, copy this code. I hope you guys can see this. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. Okay, and bring this over here. There's more. Okay, got rid of it. So now hopefully this is like visible. So Control C. Let's go back over here. Clear the screen. Paste the code. And hit enter. So this is going to create our virtual environment. And now we are going to basically connect to our virtual environment. So paste this, hit enter, and there it is. That's our virtual environment. After that, we need to install Boto 3. So go ahead, copy it right there. Check the version of Boto 3. It should be 1.40.49. Okay, and there should not be any spaces between these equal to signs. You see these equal to signs, there should not be any spaces. And you see that Boto 3 and Boto Core has the same version. So hit enter. Okay, clear the screen. Now it is telling me that a new release for pip is available and you should upgrade it. So if it's telling you that, please go ahead and do that. Okay, so hit enter. Clear the screen. So we are all updated now. Now let us go ahead and check the version of Boto 3. Okay, so we have the right version, 1.40.49. So we have basically completed step 1, that is environment setup. The next step is essentially to create a user and a role. Now you can actually use an existing user if you have one. Ensure that you have the user's access key and secret access key handy. If not, just go ahead and create a user named AgentCore. To this user, you will be associating some built-in policies like CloudWatch Logs Full Access and Amazon Bedrock Full Access. After we create the user and associate the policies, we will create an access key for this particular user. And this access key should basically provide access to running applications on an AWS compute service. And finally, once we provision the access keys, we will download the access keys. That is a secret access key and the access key for this particular user. So these are the different steps that we need to take. After that, after the user is created, we will basically create a custom inline policy. This is the name of the policy. This policy has been given in this particular text file that is shared on my GitHub. So these are the different steps that we need to take to create our user. So let me quickly switch to IAM. So I'm in IAM finally, and we will basically create a user. So I'm going to copy the name of my user from here. So I'm giving this name. You can give any name that you like. Okay, so my AgentCore user. You can give it access to AWS Management Console if you wanted. It's not needed for this particular lab. We are going to attach some policies, and those policies are CloudWatch Full Access, CloudWatch Logs Full Access. So this one, and Amazon Bedrock Full Access. Okay, there it is. So these two policies need to be attached. Click on next. And what is the next step after that? After the user is created, we will create an access key. Okay, so let's go ahead, create the user. So we have basically created a user over here. So this is our user. Now we need to create the access keys. So go to security credentials, click on create access key. And the option that you need to pick over here is application running on an AWS compute service, because I am basically running this on my EC2 instance. Click next, say yes, click next, create access key. So these are the access keys. So basically just copy them. Of course, I'm creating this temporarily for my lab. You can see it. That's it. Download the CSV file so that in case you lose it, you still have it. And click on done. Okay, so we have basically completed the first few steps over here. So let me clear this. We've created a user, we've associated policies, we have created the access key, we've downloaded the access key. Now it's the time to create our custom inline policy called as my AgentCore user policy. Okay, so let's go over here. Permissions, add permissions, create an inline policy right here. And over here, select the service as AgentCore, so Bedrock AgentCore. And now go to JSON. I have given this policy right here. So now if I can only go back, there it is. So my AgentCore user policy. Go over here, okay, and copy this policy. Control C, go back, Control A, Control V, and click back on visual. And you should see that this policy works beautifully. Okay, now of course, do not go and use this in a production environment. This is only for this lab. That goes without saying, but I still wanted to kind of reiterate that. Click on next. We will give our policy name. So our policy name is essentially my AgentCore user policy. Give the name over here. We have everything configured and create policy. So our user has been created successfully. Okay, awesome. So this step has been completed. Now we need to create a custom policy for our role. This is the execution role that is required by AgentCore. So if you go back to my overview, especially part 2, where I have dived a little more deeper into runtime, I had mentioned over there that when we work on the lab, you will see that we will be creating a special role that will be used for execution and working with AgentCore Runtime. This is that role. So first, let us create a custom policy for our role, and then we will associate this policy to our role and also set its trust policy. So step 1 is to create this custom policy. Okay, so go back here, go to policies, create policy. Select a service, it should be AgentCore, so Bedrock AgentCore, JSON. Now go back to your Git and go to my AgentCore execution role custom policy. Go here, Control A, Control C, and now come back, Control A, Control V, click on visual, and you will see that this policy works beautifully. Next, policy name. We will give this as a policy name. I'm using this name. Of course, you can give any other name that you like. Create policy. So we have created a policy successfully. So we have essentially completed this step. Now we will create our role. This is the name of the role, and we will basically associate that custom policy. So let me copy the name of our role. Control C. Let me go back. Roles, create role, and create role. AgentCore. So use Amazon Bedrock AgentCore in the use case. Click next. And this is going to be next. Oh, sorry, we forgot associate a policy. My bad. Let's go back and search for a policy. There it is. Yeah. Associating this policy is very, very important. Okay, so go back and select that particular policy. Click next. Our name is there. That's good. Create role. So our role has been created. So this is our role. Now we need to associate its trust policy. So basically, let me go back. We have created this step. We've associated a custom policy, that is this policy that we created. Now we need to edit its trust policy and basically fix it. So let's go over here and go to trust relationships. This is the trust policy. Click on edit. Now this policy that has been given will not work. So go back, copy the trust policy from here. So Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V. Okay, so that is good. And update policy. So all of our steps were executed successfully. So let's move further ahead. Step 3. So now our environment setup has been completed. We have basically got most of the stuff kind of installed, upgraded, updated. We've also created a user, we've created a role, we've set up all the policies. So everything is there in place. The last things is to have our AWS CLI configured. So let us do that. Okay, so again, if you go back to GitHub and you go to all commands, where did we leave it? We left it here. So this is the command. So install AWS CLI. So copy this, come back over here, paste it right there, upgrade, clear the screen. And now it's time to configure this. So Control C. Now remember, we all have downloaded our access key. So this is the access key. Configure this, hit enter. Then go ahead and copy the secret access key, Control C, paste it right there, enter. Now our region is US East 1 and our output format is JSON right here. Okay, so let me get that. So US East 1, US East 1, and output format is JSON. So clear the screen. So we have completed step 3 successfully. Now we need to install our Bedrock AgentCore starter toolkit. And these are the steps for that. Now there's an OR over here in between. I forgot the OR, but I think I have it in the commands. Yeah. So either use basically execute these 2 steps or this one. I have found success with these 2 steps. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm first going to see if UV is there or not. So copy that, hit enter. Okay, we are good. And now pip install, we are going to install AgentCore starter toolkit. Paste it right there, hit enter. And there it is. It executed beautifully. Now we have completed these steps. As I said, there's an OR over here. Now AgentCore does not have a command to check its version. But we want to basically ensure that AgentCore has been installed successfully. So in order for us to verify that, this is the command. We are going to see if AgentCore --help works. Okay, so it's right there. Just copy it. Go back, paste it, hit enter. And there it is. So it was installed successfully and we are good to go. So we have completed step 4 and let's continue further ahead. Step 5. Let us now create our simple agent. So this is going to be the name of my agent, myagent.py. I'm going to copy the code from myagent.py. This file is there on the GitHub. And finally, we will save and exit after we create our Python file. So let's go back over here and clear the screen. So vi my agent.py. Now, of course, if you want to give some other name, you are always welcome to do that. Hit enter. Now hit on I and it'll get into an insert mode. So where is our code? So we've used policies, we have used all the commands. So now it's time for AgentCore. So this is the file that has all the code right there. Now let us review through this real quick. So it's a very simple agent. It basically is going to accept a prompt. We are not using any LLM in this. Hence, I have some logic that is hard-coded if you see over here, right? So if the parameter in or one of the things that is passed in the prompt is joke, as you see over here, if I highlight this, then it will basically return this reply. We get my pen. So if you pass joke, then it will say, why did the developers go broke? Because he used up his cache. If you pass name, in this case, I have hard-coded my name over here. So it's going to return a reply or a response back saying, I remember you said your name is Namrata. And if not, basically it will just simply respond with your prompt. So it's going to just tell you that, hey, you said this to me. Now, the reason why we've hard-coded things over here is because we don't have an LLM agent. This is one of the simple agents that we are creating just to get it up and running. Yes, in the future, we will have LLMs added, but not right now. So go through this code at your leisure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, nothing crazy. And let me get out of this, close this, and copy this particular piece of code. Okay, so Control A, Control C. Let me go back and right click and it will paste the code right there. Now hit escape, colon, small w, small q, hit enter. That is to save and exit. Okay, so we have completed this particular step. Now we have to create requirements.txt. So let's go back over here, say vi requirements.txt. Hit enter. It's very simple. You don't have to type much. This is all that you have to type. Okay, it's not that much, but I still have this mentioned in my GitHub repo. So let me go there, figure out the files right there. Requirements.txt is just 2 lines of code. Control C, come back, go over here. So it's right here. Hit I, right click, hit escape, colon WQ, hit enter. So our requirements.txt has been created. Now be careful of these versions. Okay, AgentCore 0.1.7 depends on this or higher. Remember, our version is 1.40.49. So it requires this or higher. An older version will give conflict. And yes, it has given me immense conflicts. So these are some of the versions that I have sorted out personally. And I know that these versions work with each other. So stick to these versions. So we have completed step 6. Step 7. So now, if everything has gone really very well, then we should be able to configure our agent. Now, remember that we will need our execution role. So copy its ARN. So let me quickly go back. Where is my role? I hope oh, there is my role. Okay, my role is right here. Copy this ARN, keep it handy somewhere. Okay, sorry. Control Z, keep it handy right there, and we will need it. Okay, so let us now configure our agent. So come here, clear the screen. So it is going to be AgentCore configure. And then what do you have? -E. Sorry, that sign doesn't work on my laptop, so I will have to copy it. Let's quickly go there. And my agent.py. So copy and paste it right here. Let me see if this has been copied correctly. Yeah, it has been. So AgentCore configure -E and your Python file name right there. And hit enter. Now it is asking us if we want to use this as the agent name. The answer to that question is going to be yes. So hit enter. It has detected our requirements.txt. We wanted to use that txt. So just hit enter. Now it is asking us for our execution role ARN. If you just hit enter over here, it will create a role for you. Sometimes that does give issues. And that's why I particularly created a separate policy and created the role, and I showcase that to you. So go back, copy this, Control C, right click, hit enter. Now it is asking us for an ECR repository. We don't have anything. So just hit enter and it will create one. It is asking us for authorization. So configure OAuth. No, we don't need that. So basically say no. Now it is asking us basically allow request headers. We don't want to allow anything. So say no. And enable long-term memory. No, it's a simple agent. We don't need anything crazy. And there it is. So our agent has been configured successfully. Okay, so we have basically completed this step. Now let us launch our agent. So this is the command to launch the agent. And this command will take some time. So be patient. Okay, be patient. It will take some time. It is one of the most critical steps in this entire lab. And once this finishes successfully, note the agent's runtime ARN and ECR repository URL. This is also visible through the AWS console. Okay, so let us now go ahead and basically clear the screen and say agent core, and then we have launch. So this is the command. So hit enter. As I said, this will take some time. Okay. And if you've done all the steps just like I had done, then this should go ahead seamlessly. That's what we want. We don't want any issues while launching this agent. And while this continues over here, you can actually go to Bedrock. Where is Bedrock? There it is. So let me open it in another window. You can actually go to Bedrock, go to AgentCore, and you will be able to see it. So hopefully, where is AgentCore? There is AgentCore. And it's coming up over here, Agent Runtime. Okay, so it's going to come in a little bit. Let me go back. Okay, so it seems everything completed successfully, which is good. Hopefully I can see it here. No agents found. Okay, why is it not found? Overview, Agent runtime. Okay. I thought it had successfully launched it. Let me try it again. This is in preview, so there will be some bugs. Okay, agent runtime. And there it is. That is our agent, my agent. So click on this and you will be able to see the ECR image URL. This is the runtime ID. And over here, you have some view invocation code. And you will be able to see agent runtime ARN, the runtime session ID, and all of this information that you can definitely use to your disposal. Now, what we have to capture is this. Okay, so Control C. I'm just capturing this. And our ARN. So this is the ARN. And remember the last three of your ARN. So 9PB. Okay, and there you have observability and you have CloudWatch agent logs. If you click on this, we should be able to see our agents logs. So let us go ahead and search for an agent. So it is 9PB. Okay, search logs, all log streams. Hopefully it is there. Now, typically it takes about 10 minutes. Okay, so don't be alarmed. Oh, I think it's there. There it is. So it's just come. So don't be alarmed if you don't see it immediately. You saw first I couldn't find it. It takes a certain while to basically show up. So you click on this log group and you will see all the logs right here. So that's our agent. Now our agent has been deployed successfully. And you can see all the trail logs, the CloudWatch logs, and everything has been mentioned over here. If you don't want to go to the console, as you see, you can also see the agent name, ARN, and ECR URI right here, along with the code build ID. So all of it is mentioned here. Okay, so it's already mentioned over here on the console as well. You can copy it from your session, your Linux session, or your console. So let me clear the screen. Now it is telling you that these are the next steps. Check the status and then you are ready to invoke your agent. So let us do that. Let me first clear the screen. Say AgentCore status. So it's running. We are good to go. And now it is saying that it's ready to invoke. So let us go back. So we have finished these. We have copied these and everything went well. Now it is time for us to invoke our agent. Now, of course, this is not going to work. Remember that we have certain hard-coded, let me get rid of this. Where is my GitHub? There's my GitHub. So in our agent, we have certain hard-coded logic. Right now, temporary, right? This is just a temporary situation because we want to create a simple agent. So we either need to have joke, name, or we need to basically be ready to get our prompt as is. So if you have joke, then it will return this. If you have name, then it will return this. If not, it will say you said this. Okay, so this is what is happening over here. So let us try and test this with joke. So let's go back to our agent, clear the screen. And now this is what we are going to tell our agent. AgentCore invoke. Tell me a joke. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Control C. Paste it right there. Now let me just verify this. AgentCore invoke. Single quotes, double quotes prompt, tell me a joke. This should be pretty simple. So hit enter. Perfect. So we got the desired response, right? So why did the developers go broke? Because he used up all his cache. And then let us give, something else. Let me remove joke and just say, tell me. Okay, so actually, before I do that, let me clear. And then let's just have tell me. You said, tell me. Perfect. And now, what is my name? Or any other prompt with name in it. So hit enter. I remember you said your name is Namrata. So we have basically successfully invoked our agent. And we have completed our lab. Now the most important part of this lab, okay? First is to delete all the resources, and I'm actually going to show you some telemetry. So let me go back. So we don't need this. I don't need this. Let me close this. Yes, CloudWatch. Refresh. Now, if you see, these are the logged events. Okay, and if I click on one of them, you will see over here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Close this so you should be able to see it now. You will be able to see, some of what is my name and the response over here. I remember you said your name is Namrata. So you will be able to see this in real time. If you start trailing this, which you can, so start trailing. Remember, trailing would come with certain amount of cost. If we go back and clear the screen and run these commands again, so invoke, you should be able to see it here. Now, sometimes it takes a while, so just bear with me. There it is. Okay, so it's trailing now, and you can see it in real time. So tell me a joke. This is the response. This response was sent back, as you see, and it was completed successfully. Invocation was completed successfully. Similarly, let's say, what is my name? And we should be able to see that also over here. Just wait for it to come. Hopefully still trailing. There it is. What is my name? I remember you said your name is Namrata and everything else. So this is how you can actually go about trailing this as well. Let's clear the screen. And let's say something else. Tell me. And let's wait for the trailing to come over here. Okay, there. Let's take it. There it is. Replying, you said, tell me. Okay, and you can pretty much give any other command saying you are great. You said you are great. Scroll to the latest events. You can hit on that. You said you are great. So basically, you can see all of this information over here in CloudWatch logs, as you see. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you might have to go to CloudWatch. I think there is a function over here. Let me find that if I can find it. It's called as transcend. Okay, I don't know if it's over here or where it is, but okay, if I can find it, I will show it to you. If not, maybe next time. If I go to Bedrock, I might be able to find it. It basically says start transcending activity. You might have to activate it if it's not activated for your account. So if it will actually even give you a message that it is not activated. Okay. So if you get that message that, hey, it is not activated, go ahead and activate it. So if you go to observability, I'm trying to get to that particular option, and you can see how many hops I have to do to just get there. This is, I think, where is it? Where is it? Is it transcend search? Where is it? Transaction search. Sorry, my bad. Transaction search. Okay, this has to be enabled. So if this is not enabled, then you will have challenges. It is transaction search. Okay, not transcend. It is transaction search. So I hope, guys, that this lab was helpful. Okay, and remember to delete all your resources, your agent runtime, your memory. Okay, so if you come over here, you go to your Bedrock agent runtime, delete your user, delete your roles. Okay, delete your user keys, otherwise somebody can misuse them. And most importantly, your EC2 instance, if you have your EC2 instance. Do not let any of these hang in there, your ECR repository as well. So agent runtime, your memory, remember we did provision memory. So ensure that you do all that. In fact, you know what, since this is the first one, let me just go ahead and do it. So first one is agent runtime. So let us go over there, Bedrock, AgentCore. Let me bring the share down. Agent runtime. Okay, go over here, delete. This is the most important part. Otherwise, you will get a bill from AWS. And go to memory. You will see memory. Delete. So we deleted our AgentCore runtime, our memory. Now we have to go to ECR. So let's go to ECR. ECR. We have to delete our repository from here. So repository is right there. Delete, delete. Okay, so we have deleted runtime memory ECR. IAM role is now remaining. So where is my IAM role? Okay, roles. I'm going to go to my agent. There it is. Delete. And delete. The role has been deleted. Policies. Remember we created a policy for it. Delete the policy. Delete. And in users, I had created AgentCore user. So delete. Deactivate the access key. Confirm. Delete. Okay, so deactivate the access key and it should be good. And of course, my EC2 instance, which is still running. Let us disconnect our session. So clear, exit, EC2 instance, actions, instance state, delete. Skip the OS shutdown. We don't need it. And it will be terminated instantly. So yeah, delete all the resources, deactivate your user keys, your roles, your policies, and basically clean up your entire environment. So I believe we have completed this lab successfully. Hopefully this lab was helpful. It makes the whole process of working and learning AgentCore seamless and happy. Do post your comments and I will see you shortly in some other video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.